godness of God, in particular how God tells us in His Word. He uses anthropomorphisms, He uses human references to tell us about who He is, that we can then understand and be obedient to the instruction from God's Word. Most specifically, we have been looking at the subtitle, At the Feet of Jesus. And we do want to continue with that theme today. We have previously seen in Luke chapter 10 where Mary sat at the feet of Jesus. John 11 told us that Mary fell at the feet of Jesus. John 12 says that Mary anointed the feet of Jesus. Luke chapter 7 shows us a woman who entered into the house of a Pharisee and anointed Jesus with her tears and wiped his feet with her hair and anointed him with ointment. She was drawn to the Lord because the scripture said, we read that she had been a sinner and everybody knew it, and yet there was something about Jesus that drew her to Him and drew her to worship Him. Today we want to look at Luke chapter number 8, and we'll begin at verse number 26 of Luke chapter 8. And they arrived at the country of the Gadarenes, which is over against Galilee. And when he went forth to land, there met him out of the city a certain man which had devils long time and wear no clothes, neither abode in any house but in the tombs. When he saw Jesus, he cried out and fell before him, and with a loud voice said, What have I to do with thee, Jesus, thou Son of God Most High? I beseech thee, torment me not. For he had commanded the unclean spirit to come out of the man. For oftentimes it had caught him, and he was kept bound with chains and in fetters, and he brake the bands, and was driven of the devil into the wilderness. And Jesus asked him, saying, What is thy name? And he said, Legion, because many devils were entered into him. And they besought him that he would not command them to go out into the deep. And there was there an herd of many swine feeding on the mountain, and they besought him that he would suffer them to enter into them, and he suffered them. Then when the devils out of the man and entered into the swine, and the herd ran violently down a steep place into the lake, and were choked. When they that fed them saw what was done, they fled and went and told it in the city and in the country. Then they went out to see what was done, and came to Jesus and found the man out of whom the devils were departed, sitting at the feet of Jesus, clothed and in his right mind. And they were afraid. They also which saw it told by what means he that was possessed of the devils was healed. Then the whole multitude of the country of the Gadarenes round about besought him to depart from them, for they were taken with great fear. And he went up into the ship and returned back again. Now the man out of whom the devils were departed besought him that he might be with him. But Jesus sent him away, saying, Return to thine own house and show how great things God hath done unto thee. And he went his way and published throughout the whole city how great things Jesus had done unto him. Let the church say amen. Amen. A very familiar story, passage that we have in the scripture today. Mark also records this event in Mark chapter 5, where Jesus has just recently sailed over the Sea of Galilee. There was a storm, and he calmed the storm. And now when they get to the other side, the country of the Gadarenes, which is in the northern part of Israel, to the eastern side of the Sea of Galilee. So when he arrives, and and he gets out of the boat, he's encountering now an issue, a problem, a situation. There's a man in this area, a certain man. The Bible says he's had devils and had them for a long time. So the enemy has been at work for a long time. And Scripture says that, and it starts to describe that the man did not wear clothes. He did not abide in the house, but he just lived in the graveyard, the tombs. Mark adds that this man was very violent. He would even cut himself with sharp stones. Scripture is very clear that no human solution could be found for this situation. They had tried to chain him up and lock him down. And yet the scripture is very clear, he would just break the fetters and chains. And so he was constantly terrorizing, if you will, the entirety of the area where they dwelt. And Jesus arrives, and when Jesus gets there, something happens. And so church, anytime Jesus shows up, something gonna happen. Things just can't stay the same. But Jesus shows up. Now, Scripture says when the man saw Jesus, he cried out and fell down before him, and with a loud voice said, "What have I to do with thee, Jesus, thou Son of God Most High? I beseech thee, torment me not." Now, when we read further, we know that those demonic forces that had invaded the life of this man were actually speaking. And they fall down before the Lord. You know, the devil has to humble himself in the presence of the Lord. Satan is rampaging, and he's rampaging through this man. Nobody can get in his sleep, night and day. He's just terrorizing folks. He's a one-man gang, if you will. Terror in the tombs, if you will. And yet, when even these demonic forces that are influencing this man come into the presence of the Lord, they fall down. And then they talk. So now, not all falling down is necessarily worship of God. Because it says that then they start to say in a loud voice, "What have I to do with thee, thou Son of the Most High? Torment me not." Well, now, where did he get that from? The Lord, up to that point, hadn't spoken any words, and so, but the devil, the demon himself, or the legion of them that were in this man, recognized that there's power in the name of Jesus. Remember, Jesus just calmed the storm. And so now, if the Lord can speak to the wind and the waves and say, "Shh," and the wind and the waves obey him. Well, Jesus asked the question, "What's your name?" And the response, "Legion," because there were many devils that were in him. That's interesting, church. Not one demonic force, but there were a number of demonic influences that contrived to cause this man to be unruly, unable to be corralled by human beings. And so let me just state this and move on. Law enforcement is a good thing. But we're not going to be able to build enough jails to deal with the sin issue in our country. tried to bind him up, and it was a game to him. And so, building more jails isn't the answer. We need to be looking to the Lord, church. Politicians already talking about how they can help the people of God do the work of God and the will of God, so that God can change the hearts of men. So when God touches the heart of the man won't lie, the man won't steal, the man won't be crooked anymore. That man gonna straighten up. I'm sure to you in jail. But all too often, those who have a power of authority think that the answer is more jails, better jails. And while we certainly need good law enforcement, don't get it twisted now. I'm not saying we don't need law enforcement. We do need law enforcement because there are some people who don't want to do right. But the ultimate answer is Jesus Christ. We need to touch the hearts of men. And so here it is, they are there, and Jesus asked them what the name Legion there meant. Now, they know who's in charge. But the Bible says they ask the Lord, don't just throw us out, cast us out into the outer darkness. Allow us to go into some swine that are around. And the Bible says that Jesus then gave them leave to do so, but then the swine go out and drown themselves in the river. That shows you how demonic it was, church. Just how much they were influencing that man. But watch this. When it happened, you would think that everybody's happy, wouldn't you? Don't you think that when you come to church and the Lord delivers somebody in church, that everybody ought to leave happy and glad and shouting, and when you get back home, somebody wasn't there, and you're talking to a friend of theirs at work. Let me tell you what happened in church on Sunday. The Lord delivered somebody from their addiction. The Lord delivered somebody from whatever it was that had them oppressed. You would think that it ought to be joy when deliverance comes of this kind. Wouldn't you think so? That the man who kept up all night long, that you had to call the police every hour on the hour, and the police didn't do nothing about it. Now the Lord has touched that man, and he's no longer the same. You would think, but let me put it this way. I would think, boy, this is all right. But the Bible said that the people who saw it went back to the city and told what had happened. Then everybody in the country came out to see, for they were taken with great fear. Why? Because they don't believe it yet, because that's that man who he been bad a long time, y'all. I got to see this for myself. So now, they came out. And verse 35 says, here's what they found. They found a man out of whom the devil were departed, sitting at the feet of Jesus. That's what I want to get to today, church. Sitting at the feet of Jesus will make a difference in your life. Sitting at the feet of Jesus. When Jesus has now delivered that man, he now finds himself sitting at the Lord's feet. And he's not just sitting there. The inference is that the Lord is teaching him. The Lord is now instructing him, because when you come to the Lord, you can't keep doing the stuff you used to be doing. You need to learn how to do things different. Y'all supposed to say it again right there. When you come to the Lord, you can't keep doing things the way you used to be doing. There got to be some change in your life. Now, not only is he sitting at the feet of the Lord, but he clothed. Remember, before he was running around and wouldn't have on any clothes. And now the Bible says he is in his what? His right mind. His right mind. His right mind. See, when the devil bothers with you, you ain't thinking right. When the devil bothers with you, you can't comprehend right. But when you listen to what thus says the Lord will put things in order in your life, and you'll be in your right mind. Let me get out your way. You in your right mind and come to church on Sunday. And let everybody else do what they want to do, but you get up, put your clothes on, and you come to church, so you in your right mind. You know, folks think ain't nobody your business. And isn't it amazing that there are people who think they know more about your business? And they sitting around waiting for you to fall flat on your face. They know there's some pressure in your life. They know there's some problems that you're dealing with. But they just can't understand why you keep lifting your hand, opening your mouth, and saying, thank you, God. Lord, I thank you. In the midst of my trouble, Lord, I thank you. In the midst of my trial, Lord, I thank you. They don't understand why when you going to lunch, you are found humming the words of Jesus on the main line. Tell them what you want. Hallelujah. And tell them what you want. On your way to heat up your lunch. And after you heat it up before you start eating, you say, thank you, Lord, for another mouthful to eat. Thank you, Lord, for another day on the job. Thank you, Lord. And then when it's time to clock out, and they know they've been trying all day long to get to you, and you can walk out the door, wave your hand, and say, thank you, Lord, you be good to me. Jesus makes a difference. You'll be in your right mind. Folks don't understand why you go to the grocery store and praise the Lord because you can buy bologna. Somebody thought I was going to say steak. That lady is young. But I think I got some witnesses in here that there was a time in your life you had to tell God thank you for the bologna, for the peanut butter, the jelly, and the bread, but you had stay in your right thing. Even though you can go to Applebee's now, stay in your right thing. Even though you can go to Longhorn now, stay in your right thing. Even though you can go to Chili's now, stay in your right thing. Tell God thank you for everything that God does. They get there and see all of that, and instead of them being happy, the Bible says they are afraid. And they beseech Jesus that he should leave them, depart from them. Y'all help me with that for me. Y'all help me with that, church. Because it would seem to me that the Lord has done such a great work. They ought to be willing to make him the police chief. If the Lord can do like that with one wild man, I would think that somebody ought to say, hey, let's make him the police chief. If not the mayor or the governor. But no, the Bible says that they want Jesus to lead. Yes, sir. Watch this. Now, the man out of whom the Lord had cast the demonic spirit The Bible says he wants to follow Jesus. And yet, Jesus sends him away and tells him, return to thine own house and show how great things God have done unto thee. And he went his way and published throughout the whole city how great things Jesus had done unto him. So now he wants to follow Jesus, get back in the boat with Jesus, and sail wherever Jesus is going. Jesus says, I got a different ministry for you. You need to go back and do some relationship repair. Y'all miss it, church. Mark puts it this way. Jesus said, go back to your house that you lived in years ago. Before you allowed the devil to cause your life to change and spiral in such a bad way. You go back and start there with them. Because those are the folk that have been hurt the most by what you have done. And so Jesus shows us that we have to repair relationships when we're going to be good followers of Jesus Christ. See, the people in the next town, they know it. Like the people over here know it. You see, and let's just look at us here in St. Mary. Amen. It's small enough we know almost everybody. Everybody know us. And if there's something that has been done years ago, at some point we need to take an opportunity and to the best of our ability try to repair the relationship. And here's how you repair it. Let them see God in your life. Let them see the Lord in your life. Because not everybody is going to be willing to accept. And yet, when you got the Lord in your life, when you try to make it better, and they don't want it to get any better, you can leave knowing you did all you could to make it better. Now it's on them. You don't have to lay awake at night wondering whether or not they forgave you. If you went to them and explained to them that it was the devil that had you doing it, but the Lord has set you free, and now you want to love them with the agape of the Lord, and they don't want to hear it, then the Lord can handle that. The Lord can handle that. Relationship repair. In closing, though, I still haven't reached an answer as to why those folks wanted Jesus out of town. I don't know. The text does not say. But in looking at the circumstance and surroundings, remember there was some swine that folk had. And scholars and commentators are not in full agreement as to whether or not these were Gentile people who had the swine, or these were Jewish people who knew they shouldn't have had the swine and were dealing with the swine. Whichever side you lean on, the reality is that 2,000 of them gone. Jesus had a negative economic impact on their well-being. Church, everybody that promises you money don't necessarily mean it's for your good. Y'all listening? Every time a politician talk about tax cuts, don't get so happy. Because there are some good things that we do with tax money. Now, those who are abusing and misusing, we ought to deal with that. But we ought to take care of our seniors. That's our tax. We do have to have military, law enforcement. That's our tax money. So before you jump, because someone says, I'm signing a bill to lower your taxes, think about what it's going to cost in the long run. There's a story that is told. A man running for political office in the town, and there was a problem in the town. The budget was, they were over budget, and the buses didn't run on time. So the politician said, I got the answer. He elected me to the office, and I got the answer to your problem. Now, he never told him what the answer was. He just said, trust me, I got the answer to your problem. When he got elected to the office, he actually did cut the budget. And the buses were now on time. You know how? He got rid of all the buses. And so now, here's how he impacted the budget. People really needed the buses to run, and the buses run on time. His answer was, well, if I want to cut the budget, if I get rid of the buses, then everybody ought to be happy. Make sure when somebody promises something, you know exactly what it is that they are talking about. Because every time they promise to put $1 in your pocket, they take it 10 somewhere else. Y'all ain't walking with me today, church. Nobody wants to pay any more than what is necessary. But we have to be judicious enough to ask the Lord, Lord, what shall we do? The church, I just believe that the Lord will show you. And like the Lord gave the church to know that if you tithe, God will take care of it. You be obedient. Tithe, give unto the Lord faithfully. And the Lord will take care of it. We are the example of the truth of that statement. Tithe and the other 90% belong to the Lord too. But the Lord said, give me that 10 and trust me with the other 90 and watch what God will do. Well, for y'all who don't know the story, some years ago, the church that we were in burned down. And we did not have any deep pocket benefactor that came and wrote a check and said, here, build the church back. But what we did was we trusted in God. And the same God that gave that one will be obeyed what the Lord said. We were able to build this one and did it without having to go into debt. But God is the Lord for the great things He has done. You ought to trust God with whatever you got. And if you trust God or be a witness in Him, God will make a way. Somebody say, little is much when God is in it. 2 fish and 3 biscuits, and the Lord in a multitude. Won't He do it? I mean, won't He do it? They want to run Jesus out of town. Because it looks like he may be not so good for the bottom line. And yet, and here's the verse that I didn't read, and after I read this verse, Mayor Choir's going to sing a song of invitation. If you don't know the Lord, we bid you to come to Jesus this day. Candidate for baptism by letter of Christian experience. But watch this, church. They run Jesus out of town, literally. But then in verse 40, it came to pass when Jesus was returned, got in his boat, and sailed on down to the other side of the ship. Y'all get this picture? Have done good work in the place where he was. But they want to send him away. Got in his boat, sailed down the shore. The people on that side of the shore, look at verse 40. The people gladly received